Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, I am announcing something I'm so excited about, and that is that I will be co-hosting the next round of Mentalhealthathon in May with Nicole from Beautiful Chaos of Books. So in case you didn't know, Nicole created this readathon last May to celebrate mental health basically in reading, and she reached out to me in November, so just before Christmas, and said, I'm going to run another round, would you like to co-host? And I was on the sofa with Gary at the time, we were just hanging out in the evening, and I literally shrieked out of my lungs and made the poor man jump out of his skin because I was so excited and honoured that she would trust me to help run this really important readathon. So I'm very excited to talk to you today about the readathon. I'm going to explain the hosts, the challenges, what's happening, the dates, all the bits that you need. Everything that I talk about will be in the description along with a Google Doc that Nicole has created. And yeah, let's do it. So Mentalhealthathon, we're running from the 1st to the 31st of May. So we'll be reading all month. It's a month-long readathon to celebrate mental health in books and to get really good discussions hopefully going around mental health, representation, all that good stuff. We've also got another co-host, Simone, my wonderful friend, our wonderful friend Simone from Me, Simone and I, has also agreed to co-host, and the whole process of putting this together for you guys has just been like so fun and one of my most enjoyable projects with two of my Booktube besties. I mean, like, my little heart has been very happy. So we will be reading, like I said, it's month long, and there are various ways that you can take part. So there is a bingo board which I will go through with you in a second with the challenges. You can also post your TBR, which I will be doing in a couple of weeks, and we have created a mental health on Booktube tag which will be coming in April, later in April. I can't remember the date. Simone Nicole did give me a date. Is it the 15th? Something like that. It'll be up in a couple of weeks, which you guys obviously can do and help kind of spread the word. The main thing that we want to get across in these announcements videos is look after yourself. Now, obviously reading books around mental health can be triggering, and I personally, you'll see my TBR in a few weeks' time, I'm not purely going to be reading mental health books in May because I did that last year and it wasn't good for me at all. I will be reading the group book, the host picks, and a couple of others, but it will not be my whole TBR for that month. So please be careful. If you are taking part, then please make sure that you check trigger warnings before you go into book with anything that might trigger you, and also when you're talking about books and generally having discussions that month, please just be aware of other people, be respectful, make sure that you give trigger warnings if you're talking about a book, and yeah, let's just look after each other. The whole point is for it to be a positive, upbeat readathon talking about mental health and trying to destigmatize it and just make it an easier conversation for everybody to have. So yeah, please look after yourselves. That's number one. So how do we take part? Like I said, you can post a TBR, so you can post a video, or you can put it on Twitter or on Bookstagram or on your blog, wherever you are. Please use the hashtag mentalhealthathon so we can find you. We're going to be super active on Twitter and Instagram and Booktube and anywhere else we can squeeze our way in during the whole month of May. So please come and chat with us and take part. I've got my notes down here, that's why I'm just keep glancing down. We have also got a bingo board with 8 challenges on it. Nicole and Simone, I will obviously link them in the description. If you're not already following them, you should be. They are much better at Booktube than I am, so they will put a nice fancy picture up here of the board. I still don't know how to do that, so I've got it on a bit of paper with my scroll on. This is the beautiful board that Nicole has created, and I will also link that in the description so that you can print it off if you want to. But the challenges are as follows. First of all, the group book, The Million Pieces of Nina Jill by Emma Smith Barton. Nicole has chosen this obviously because it's her readathon, and I think she read it last year, and it's a YA contemporary book based around obviously mental health. I will read you a little bit from the back. So it says, how can I hold myself together when everything around me is falling apart? Nina's always been a good girl, but when her brother disappears without a trace, her family becomes fractured beyond repair, and Nina finds herself spiralling out of control as she tries to find out what happened to Akash. Surrounded by broken friendships, a broken heart, and increasingly broken grip on her sanity, Nina's never felt more helpless. But as she's about to discover, sometimes it is in our darkest moments that we find our true strength. So that will be the book read. I'm really looking forward to it. I really like this cover, and It's not very long. It's just over 300 pages. So I feel like even if you only read one mental health book in this month, this would be a good one. And we will be talking about this on Twitter and Instagram at some point during the month. We have then also all chosen host picks. So Nicole's is The Stranger on the Bridge, My Journey from Suicidal Despair to Hope by Johnny Benjamin. If you're in the UK, you probably know the story of Johnny Benjamin. It was a big news story a few years ago. Basically, one day Johnny was stood on Waterloo Bridge contemplating taking his own life, and a stranger basically stepped forward and stopped him, talked him out of it. And he never knew who that person was. That person then walked away, and he didn't know them, and he then spent several years trying to find them. And I think this is just his kind of mental health memoir. I've not read it yet. I will also be reading this. Spoilers for my TBR. So I think it will be really impactful. Again, it's not very long. It's less than 200 pages. And that is Nicole's host pick. Simone's, I actually went to get all my books ready for this video and realised my copy of this book is currently out on Lend. But Simone has chosen Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeymoon. And that's a book I've read, absolutely adore it. Again, spoiler for my TBR, I'm going to reread that, but on Audible via audiobook for this readathon. So yeah, go and check that book out as well. It basically follows a woman called Eleanor Oliphant and her life, and you can't really, it's quite a difficult book to describe, can't really say any more than that. But it's got a really interesting point of view, and I gave it 5 stars when I read it. I also know it's one of Nicole's favourite books, so it comes very highly recommended by the 3 of us. And then finally, my host pick, which you will have seen in my February wrap-up where I referenced a project that I've been working on. Well, it was this one, because my host pick is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This follows a girl who, her diagnosis is never said in the book, but she has serious issues around germs. She's very germ phobic, she has anxiety, she has panic attacks, and this is basically following her life. She's trying to figure out the mystery of where a friend's dad has disappeared to, and I just found it really impactful and beautiful, and that's why I've chosen it for this readathon as my host pick. So those are the host picks. Hopefully you found something in there that interests you. The next challenge is learn more. So that's a topic that you want to learn more about, or that you know nothing about. So yeah, find a book around that. Next is oldest mental health book on your TBR, which is fairly self-explanatory. Then we have newest, which is also fairly self-explanatory, I think. Non-fiction, again, spoiler for my TBR. My TBR is pretty non-fiction heavy. I personally find reading fiction books around mental health more challenging than non-fiction. I'm not sure why that is. I think maybe it's because if it's non-fiction, I sort of put myself in the character's head a lot more, whereas if it's non-fiction, it's somebody's memoir or somebody's real life experience, then I find it easier to separate myself from it. So non-fiction. Then we've got YA book, so obviously a young adult, or you could, if you can find a good children's book with mental health rep in it as well, that would also count. And then a book with green on the cover, because green is the colour of the ribbon for Mental Health Month. There is also, as you will see in Nicole and Simone's videos when they put beautiful pictures here, I will show you my piece of paper, there is a self-care section on this board, free space. So that is for you to do whatever you need to do to basically take care of yourself. So, you know, do some exercise, have a bath, bake something, curl up and watch a film, all that kind of stuff. But we wanted to put that in so that everyone's got kind of a safe space during the month, because we know that it can be challenging to read mental health books, you know, in bulk. And we want to make sure that everyone's okay. Let me just check my list to make sure I've got everything covered. So we won't be having a live show this year, and there's also no competition element. We just kind of felt, well, I personally I'm not comfortable doing live shows. I don't think my anxiety would take it. And obviously this is supposed to be about positivity and mental health, so we're not doing anything that could trigger people. And the competition element, we're just not going to do this year, because this is supposed to be fun and relaxed, and we don't want to stress anybody out. I've already said we're going to do the mental health on Booktube tag, and all the Google Docs will be linked in the description. I think that was everything that I was supposed to cover in this video. So it's Nicole, Simone and me. We're very excited about it. 1st to the 31st of May. I've given you the challenges, everything will be linked in the description. My TBR will be up in a couple of weeks, and then, the mental health on Booktube tag See, Nicole's watching this right now thinking, why did I ask her? She doesn't know what she's doing. The tag will be up in a couple of weeks, and then my TBR will be up towards the end of the month, so you can see what I'm reading. Simone and Nicole's videos will also be going up today, I think, and I will have linked their profiles below. I really hope you're going to take part with us. Even if you only read one book, you have taken part, and that's fantastic. Also, I wanted to say, if you don't feel capable of reading any books during the month around mental health, but you still want to like take part and support us, that's absolutely fine. Please look after yourselves. You can just retweet our links, retweet the Twitter, and get involved that way. That's totally fine. So leave me a comment, let me know if you're taking part. I'm very excited, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye.